Before you disassemble your 2JZ-GE pedal sensor for your throttle body, take note of where the spring ends go. There's two spots for two springs. Basically, the red is the outside big spring, goes below the other one, which is a small middle spring, which is labeled as green. Where the stopper is for the pedal sensor, for the wheel, that's where the red goes under. But there's a second spot where they anchor, and that's right above the connector. And for that, it's the opposite. The double red spring for the outside is above the green small middle spring, but it does not have a U-bend like it does on the outside. So it's going to be two pieces of the spring. But anyway, you want to take that 10mm off from the front, and there's a split washer underneath that, which I guess keeps the nut locked. So you do need that piece, so be sure you don't lose it. It might fall out when you take out the nut. But anyway, it comes off relatively easy. Next, there is a plastic piece under the wheel, and that plastic piece has a hole in it. And then there's a second plastic piece underneath that piece, and it has like a little nub that goes through that hole, kind of slots into it. But as you'll notice, it's a struggle to get it off in the beginning, the wheel. So you have to basically take some tension off of it by turning the wheel slightly as if it was given some accelerator pedal pressure, and it should come out relatively easily. But you see where my thumb is right there, that nub? That was me testing to see if it is a separate piece from the one above it, which it is. But anyway, some rotational pressure on the wheel will help the wheel come off. And so that's done right there. Next, we have the two plastic pieces. So we got that one, and actually it might be a slightly metal piece right there. Yeah, some metal piece in between the two plastic ones. And there is a slot cut out on the plastic piece, and the plastic piece with the nub underneath it will slot into that cutout. And so that big plastic piece from the top and the little one from underneath this metal ring, both of them have like a little mini stopper of their own, and each of those will catch their respective springs. But yeah, that piece literally just falls into that right there, and you want to make sure it slides smoothly within that groove that's cut out on the side. Just like that. And that's how it's aligned. All of them, all the pieces that have a piece sticking out, they all align with the stopper on the wheel and on the body of the pedal sensor. So all of them go in that corner right there with the U-bend outside spring piece. Anyway, put those to the side. And that's how the springs are generally laid out. You just have to apply some pressure to get them past the stoppage point. But that's about it. That's me seeing, if I could get it back, and I can. It's not a lot of pressure, so, and you do have to push it down over that edge. But anyway, you just take the middle spring, tilt it, and then lift it outward, up and out. Boom, slides right out, nothing crazy. And it's kind of symmetrical, and you do have to bend it a little bit to put it back in, but I would say, don't assume it's fully symmetrical and can be used upside down. Just keep everything aligned the way it is. And so yeah, that one is, when you put it back, you're gonna have to twist it some to get it within the confines of the perimeter. Anyway, so when you're putting it back in, you align those two loose ends of that spring and put them into the slot by the connector. And then you take the top piece and you have to spin it around to make the spring smaller so it fits within the circle where it's supposed to sit. So you see right now it's unwound. You're going to want to wind it some. Just go ahead and do that. Oh, perfect. We got that one in almost. And you may need to use a screwdriver to kind of lift it up or down in the slot depending on where it is. But don't push it all the way down because the little spring needs to go underneath it. So yeah, once you have it like that, it kind of catches on the stopper corner, but just keep a finger there just in case so it doesn't spring out at you. That one goes, reverse of disassembly. So yeah, that's me lifting it a little bit to create room. Then you angle it, slide it right on in, and then it goes underneath those by the connector. And it should sit within the inner circle of the sensor itself. and that one won't quite catch on the stopper since it has, it's too high. But that's when you just kind of roughly hold it there, and you could put that other piece, the plastic and metal, both of them that are slotted into each other, or you can do one at a time. But that plastic piece with the nub on it should sit directly on top of the small spring. Then you have that which sits on top of that, and it can still slide. Make sure that's free. And ideally you want all stopper ends of all the pieces aligned, and you want the springs in front of them, not behind them, so they can actually do their job. Put some tension on them, and sensor may be trying to spin away from you, but just grip it down. And then you put that thing on top and make sure the nub goes right through that little slot, the hole for it. There you go. Now that it's poking through, put all the springs in front of the stopper again. The main important thing is keeping the springs in front of the stopper. And boom, we got some tension now. So go ahead and give it a test spin. It works. Okay, yeah, smooth, just like factory. Now you can get ready to put the wheel on, and this is where it's a little bit of a struggle, because just like when taking it off, you have to provide some spinning pressure to take the slack, or to give it some slack, so the wheel can actually slide on and line up with the stopper of the body of the pedal sensor. Then you put the washer on, and you put the nut on, get it threaded by hand, use your 10 mil, and you don't have to you don't have to Hulk tighten it, just snug it. It wasn't that hard to take off anyway. And then give it a test spin, make sure it spins freely. The first time I did this, when I put it back together, it wouldn't spin. And so I found that the metal ring that goes underneath the big plastic piece, in between the two plastic pieces, that one was locking into the body of the sensor below. So you don't want it too compressed, the whole assembly. You just want it loose enough to where it floats above and it spins. But yeah, that's it.